I really thought today was going to be me making a video about that novel that is currently in production, or maybe something to mark the anniversary of the Why I Don't Approach Women video anymore, or Why I Don't Approach Women Anymore video and its anniversary of being published. But instead, I have to deal with continued disturbance to the world and just society as it stands. Now, a couple of hours ago, we had this school shooting in Florida with 16 people confirmed deceased. And the suspect was a 19-year-old who was a student at the school and, according to one source, was let go of for disciplinary reasons. Now, as I was sitting there and I was thinking about what I would say, um, in response to this, I realized that there was nothing new for me to say, and actually had the temptation to just take a prior video of me speaking about some other shooting and just copy and paste that in here and maybe edit it out to where I say Florida instead of whatever the other state was. But then I also thought more about it and I said, wait a second, this isn't Florida. This is Florida. And I said, how many times have we heard about a shooting in Florida? Let's see, there was the airport, there was Orlando, and then I thought about another thing. I said, how many governors has that state had since these three shootings in less than 2 years that have all had national attention? And it's all been Scott, Rick Scott. I thought, well, what has he done to address this problem? Well, he's offered thoughts and prayers. But again, this goes back to why I had the temptation to just not to go completely autopilot in addressing this, because you have those who are tired, fed up with these shootings, and most of us are, even people who are opposed to gun control, but they won't pressure these, members of Congress, these supposed representatives of, them and all of their constituents, to go out and do anything that is actually conducive to solving this problem. Forget saying we can't have, firearms over in that state anymore. Why don't you put up some legislation that says, okay, now all these schools have to have security guards. Okay, now all these schools have to have, something to walk through that can detect if you have a firearm. These thoughts, I can't not believe, or I've just never crossed their minds. Like, what I'm saying here is just so revolutionary. But they'll never do it. And it makes no sense, because I can buy the idea of, hello, I am bought out by the NRA. They give me campaign contributions, and as such, I will not do anything to impede the selling and access of firearms. I can buy that. But we're talking about just basic responses to issues. I have half a mind to just make this channel just be about shooting. Just every video is just, this shooting happened over here, this shooting happened over here. Because these things are able to escape us. They're prevalent for, a day, a week, a month, maybe, depending on if it's, in Orlando or Las Vegas, where it's the, a milestone, unfortunately, and they just completely disappear after that, other than maybe two or three mentions between every, anniversary, like the first one or the fifth one or the 10th one. And that shouldn't be the case. I think for every shooting that has national coverage, especially if they keep happening in the same state over and over again, like Florida with the same governor, should have some piece of law or some initiative taken on by that elected official. There needs to be a legacy to these killings other than just bodies piled up, and we all, gave some speech about, how our thoughts and prayers with everybody. That's not going to save anyone. And there was, there's a willingness to discuss mental health, what causes people to lose their humanity and just spray across, innocence, seemingly. So I can buy those types of talks. I can tolerate, maybe we don't end up saving everyone or stopping everything, but I don't see anything being done other than just President Trump said this, Governor Scott said that. I'm tired of it, and I've been seeing it for, what is going on 2 full years of just either whoever the president is and then Scott putting out some condolence statement along with Rubio and I think the other senator is Nelson, and just wondering, when does it end? When do I actually get representatives or congressmen or presidents or well, at least of this current era anyway. We've had ones in the past that actually cared, but before the money crap. So when do we actually get people in office who, even if they take into account, yes, I'm bought out, say, okay, well, you know, this will be the legacy of this shooting. We're going to have this new act that's been passed, or this new thing that says, hey, restrictions on, I don't know, access to buildings with no check of what you have on you. You'll have someone who will say that's going to, ban or mess with the license to carry a concealed weapon. But, if the person has some kind of deficiency, or that area has this problem, this state has this problem, why not forego it? We have to get out of this idea that human rights are so important as to just completely get rid of everything that is around that person. Yes, it is probably a violation of the right to concealed carrying to put up, something that can detect if someone has a weapon. No, it is not a human rights issue, because we're probably saving human lives if that person came there with that weapon with malicious intent. But all in all, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of reading these stories. I'm sick of watching the news, and we speak about it for a little while. I want some change. I really think that you're going to keep having these. I feel as if I'm this broken record who talks about the same thing over and over again, and nothing changes except the date, year, and place I'm in when I first hear about it. I'm tired. So, thank you for watching, and have a good day.